LOV111VOL is an application that is used to manage a one-person business, a team, as well as an entire company, an entire organization. After launching the program, we're shown a window where we need to enter a login and password. In this case, it will be the word human every time. Then we press login, log into our application, and in today's tutorial, I will tell you how to manage a project using Scrum methodology. To do this, we go to Project. On the left side, we select Projects and use the plus button to add our project. We will use the construction of a bicycle as an example and divide it into two stages. Namely, step 1 will be building the bicycle. Then step 2 will be testing the bicycle. We will call our project Building a Bicycle, Assembly Bicycle. As for other properties we can set here, maybe we won't focus on that for now, but it's worth mentioning that here you can select a team leader, team members, and people who will be able to edit, for example, tasks. For now, we save our project. Our project has been created. We click here on this picture, on this icon, and go to our project. At the very beginning, we plan. Namely, we go to Planning, the Planning tab, and the steps. As I mentioned earlier, we have two steps here. The first step is building. Let's say we need 5 days to build our bicycle. And this step is our current step. I mean, now we're going to do it the next 5 days. We write it down. We add the second step, testing. Here, let's say we will need 3 days, and we save. And as we can see, a general plan has been created for us. In 2 steps, we will build our bicycle. Now we move on to planning. As we see here, there are our 2 steps. We add some tasks. We mount the wheels. Then we mount the lights. And then we mount the brakes. Now we test the lights. Then we test the brakes. It's important to have a plan, right? Now we assign these tasks that we have created to individual steps. That is, we mount the wheels. It belongs to step 1, so do the lights and the brakes. Now we can assign this task to someone. To make it easier, we assign ourselves and we see the lights turn to green. And we save, of course. The same here. We assign ourselves, we write it down, we assign ourselves and save. Now we change step 2. And here we assign the next remaining task, which is testing. We assign it to someone, and we save. And we save. And this way, all in all, we see in step 1, we have 3 tasks. We build, whereas in step 2, here is step 2, we see that we test. Now we go to the dashboard. Well, and we can see that in our first step, we have 3 tasks that are still outstanding. And in step 2, we have 2 tasks that are also unperformed. And this way you can plan your project and then execute it. That is, we go to the current sprint and we are supposed to install the wheels from the bicycle. We move on to the task at hand. Now we can add some commentary here. If we are working with someone, we can make some inquiry, but let's agree that we have some progress there. And we see how we have changed the state of our task. That it is in progress, some progress. That is, we are working on it. On the dashboard, we see that currently someone is working on this task. If someone had to mount something, for example, they change the status of the task to in progress. And now they have finished the task. They press that it's finished, and in Scrum, there are simply retrospectives every 3 or sometimes every 2 days, depending on how the team decides. That is, the team gets together and discusses the individual sprints or individual steps, what they succeeded in accomplishing, what they failed. If something didn't work, it gets translated to the next step. Well, I think that's it, as far as the simple example here is concerned. Of course, my workspace tab, my work area, and here we can select a project. And we can see what I have been assigned to and what I have to do.